Next is Jim McGrath, and following him will be Tina Swinson, Russell Dimmick, and Alan Samara.
Thank you. Mayor and members of City Council, I'm Jim McGrath, president of the Pittman Creek Estate Homeowners Association, and I've arranged for some of our speakers to speak just a few words so that we can put a little bit of extra time on mine, and I'm spokesperson for the neighborhood. And Pittman Creek Estates, I should introduce, is a community of 315 homeowners, and we are located about 300 yards from the proposed entrance to the Rosewood development. Now, over the last 6 weeks, we have met for about 7 hours with Rosewood Properties and their representatives, and I provided extensive notes to our neighbors, which generated excellent communication. We reviewed the plan in detail, we discussed the pros and cons extensively, and in the end, the vast majority of Pittman Creek Estate homeowners are in favor of the project. We're confident that this development will generate revenue to the city, thus reducing the burden on homeowners, and the corporate campus will enable another major corporation to move to Plano. And this will bring professionals to the city, and that will create the need for housing, and that will lift the value of the nearby homes, and that happens to be the homes of the people in the chamber tonight. And so we ask that you vote to approve the zoning request. Now, I want to share the most important input from our neighborhood, which can be characterized in 2 sentences. Sentence number 1, Jim, I support the development, but what are you going to do about 15th and Custer? 15th and Custer is a neighborhood community strip center. It's in need of development. Sentence number 2, Jim, I'm for the development, but what are you going to do about the Collin Creek Mall? And we all live about 1 mile away. So rather than try to answer this question myself, I assembled a team of neighbors, and an amazing thing happened. We have an amazing depth of commercial real estate experience in our neighborhood. Our team includes a young lady who served on P&Z for the last 4 years, multiple commercial brokers, a real estate attorney, the assistant director of economic development for Plano, and multiple brilliant architects. Now, one of those brilliant architects is my wife. Exceedingly brilliant. And she reviewed the plan, and she said, we need to get this built. Her point, and the point of our team, was that this is a great development. But even more importantly than being a great development, it's the catalyst that brings new development to Central Plano. The DFW commercial real estate community knows Rosewood's reputation. They know Rosewood did their homework, and they know that their own investment risk is mitigated by the fact that Rosewood that they're following Rosewood into Central Plano. So it's easier for other companies to invest because Rosewood went first. In time, investors will upgrade our neighborhood centers, and in time, a consortium, including Frank Turner and staff, our neighborhoods, and developers with vision, will transform the Collin Creek Mall. 2 final points. Let's take a minute to discuss what happens if we fumble the football. That is, if tonight's vote is for no or to table a motion. Well, I worked for JCPenney for 27 years. My last job was manager of strategic alliances, and I got to know all of the local economic development teams and how they operate. Got to know them very well. They are very aggressive. As one director told me, you need to understand that this is a contact sport. So, if the proposal fails to pass tomorrow, if the proposal fails to pass tomorrow morning, I see the colony calling Rosewood, offering space on 121 across from the Nebraska Furniture Mart. Prosper and McKinney will call as well, offering space on 380. But one of our neighbors will show up in person. And here's their pitch. We're offering you space on the tollway 4 miles north of the baseball stadium, 3 miles north of the world headquarters of the Dallas Cowboys, 2 miles north of Toyota Stadium. We're happy to make the space available because you are welcome here in Frisco. And where does that leave our neighborhood? Well, here's what happens. Rosewood cuts up the land and sells the parcels to the highest bidder. Those developers will work as fast as possible to build the biggest building possible. And what would that be? Well, it could be a center, an office building, could be a call center. It will not be a development that will bring additional investment to transform the Collin Creek Mall. That won't happen. And last of all, we're very happy for the economic growth in West Plano, honest to goodness. In Pittman Creek Estates, we visit Legacy regularly. It is terrific. Mayor, I love the picture of you holding up the shirt with Toyota with Harry on the back. It's terrific. But I have to tell you that I attended a recent update by our economic development team. It was 20 minutes long, and 18 minutes were about West Plano, and 2 minutes were about East Plano. Central Plano was not mentioned. But surprisingly, the first question from the audience was the same question my neighbors asked me about what I'm going to do about the Collin Creek Mall. And the first question asked of the economic team after the presentation, what are you going to do about the Collin Creek Mall? So what about the Collin Creek Mall? The work starts tonight. Rosewood's plan is consistent with the comprehensive plan for major corridor development. City staff has recommended approval. The two closest neighborhoods have voted in support of the development. And so we ask for your support by voting to change the zoning to mixed use. Let's get started on the first of a series of great developments in Central Plano. Thank you.